I have a clip here for you that I can only accurately describe as weird, bizarre, strange. Now, as is so often the case, also aggravating and devastating based on the ramifications of the ideology being espoused here by Clay Higgins. But on top of that, just strange and embarrassing for Clay Higgins. So he's getting questioned by Representative Neguse. And MAGA Republican Clay Higgins takes a question about the danger of COVID and thinks, is this the question about how dangerous COVID is, how many people it has devastated, the lives it has taken, or, and the one he chooses, is this a question about how tough I am? Big man Clay Higgins ain't scared of anything. That's where he takes the answer. What is happening? So take a look at this. Again, Representative Neguse is asking, do you find COVID to be dangerous? Obviously, it's dangerous based on the devastation we've seen it cause. But Clay Higgins, not so much. He's a big man.
Question that you just posed back, whether you think COVID-19 is serious or dangerous.
I believe that perhaps the gentleman's definition of danger might be quite different from mine.
Okay. So is that a no? Or I'm trying to understand.
Well, there obviously.
Is it dangerous to you by your definition? I don't.
You know, as levels of danger concern, I would put a virus along the lines of the flu far down my list of priorities that I would consider as dangerous in my life. I have lived a life that I've stared danger in the eye many, many times, and it never resembled COVID.
Got it. Well, I'll enter into the record. I appreciate your answer. This is an art.
And then watch this. After saying that, I'm not scared of anything, Joe Neguse. You might be, but I'm not a sissy. Then Joe Neguse very accurately points out, separate from you being so strange for taking the answer there, also, that's not consistent with what you've said about COVID based on your experience almost dying from COVID, Clay.
Article from August 13th of 2021 from a newspaper titled The Advocate. I think it's a Louisiana newspaper. The headline is Clay Higgins says COVID, quote, almost killed me, remains opposed to mandates. And there's a paragraph here, I'll quote from it just so that we're clear. It says, regarding COVID-19, Higgins, Representative Higgins, of course, told the audience of several dozen residents at the event organized by the African American Chamber of Commerce that the disease, quote, almost killed me, end quote. Quote, there was a day there when I wasn't sure y'all were going to have to tolerate me much longer, end quote, he said. Quote, my wife, my son, and I got COVID about a month ago, the Delta variant, and I've never been knocked down that hard in my life. I'm fully recovered now. My suits fit better, end quote. So
that is an accurate assessment of yes, sir. I faced death's door from the Delta variant of COVID, and I remain very heavily inoculated, having gained natural immunity and lived through that experience because I'm a healthy American and I remain unvaccinated by the experimental vaccine, which I'm sure you got. Good luck with that. But I battled COVID a couple of times. One time brought me to death's door, but here I am.
Well,
what is this? Because I cover politics, I know that this is real. I know that Clay Higgins exists and he's a real person. I would assume if I didn't, this was some sort of fake movie scene or something. Fictional character. What on earth was that? Again, bizarre and also devastatingly dishonest, because his ideology that spreads nonsense about COVID and the vaccine is in part to blame for much of the harm that was done by COVID to so many people who could have protected themselves. But because we talk a lot about that, to just take it in a different direction, what type of strange individual, when asked about the danger of a virus, hears in that question How manly are you? Can you handle danger? Are you a strong guy who's not afraid of anything? And then knows that publicly available information shows apparently you do find COVID, rightfully so, to be dangerous, to be scary, because you talked about how you nearly died from it. What's more scary than almost dying, Clay? And then instead of going, yeah, but I meant, even death's door is not scary to Clay Higgins. Instead of doing that, he goes, that's right. I went right up to death's door, and that makes me even more brave, but I still don't think it. And then he throws into that he's healthy. So you're admitting COVID's so dangerous that it can take a healthy, big, strong, manly man and sorry, it's so dumb. And nearly kill that person. Which, you know how sometimes we talk about, it seems some of these Republicans can only take a position once they're impacted in a way that brings them there. For example, gay marriage, or even just not being super hateful toward gay people. There's all these stories of Republican politicians super anti-gay, and then they have a niece who comes out, or they have a nephew, or they have a son, or they're gay. And that is what pushes them finally over the edge to be supportive. That is what changed their view. And you've seen some Republicans do that with COVID. They're impacted and they take it more seriously. But here, even after experiencing just how devastating COVID can be, instead of going, wow, if a healthy, big, strong person could be impacted like I was, maybe it's something I should take seriously. Maybe I should follow the science. Maybe I should advocate on behalf of other people following the science and stop allowing other people not to be as lucky as I got in not dying, because so many millions have died, have been impacted in the worst way imaginable. But no, that is so wild. I don't even know how to wrap this segment up. My brain is broken. Why do we have Congress people such as Clay Higgins? Please vote these individuals out. It's embarrassing. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to be a part of what makes this show possible, plus get access to the full video version of the show and get a bonus show on the weekends, you can do so by going to lukebeasleyshow.com/membership. That's lukebeasleyshow.com/membership, and there's a link in the description.